Okay, so on January 27th, there's a fight coming up between Jaime Munguia and John Ryder. Now I'm recording this in mid-December, so if something changes in the interim, just excuse me. But um, I see a lot of people talking about this fight and are actually intrigued by it. And I'm just not that intrigued by it, fellas. I don't get what the big deal is with this fight. First of all, I'm going to say this, man. I've never been high on Jaime Munguia. I never really rated him. I still don't rate him. If anything, Jaime Munguia should have been a man and given Derevyanchenko a rematch in a fight that really could have went either way. He got bailed out, in my opinion, by that knockdown he scored late. But Derevyanchenko, arguably, you could make a case that he won that fight. And I mean, Munguia lost to, he had a hard time with, who was that Irish kid that he fought? Anyways, doesn't matter. He struggled with some guys that he shouldn't have. And he's not what they're making him out to be. He never has been. You understand what I'm saying? But let's go through the tail of the tape. So Jaime Munguia stands at 6 foot even. He has a 72-inch reach. He's 27 years old. Somehow this motherfucker is 42-0. With 30, because 35 or 38 of his opponents have been bums. And he has 33 wins coming by way of knockout. Now, John Ryder is 5'9". He also has a 72-inch reach. He's 35 years old. He's a southpaw, and his record reads 32 wins, 6 defeats, with 18 wins coming by way of knockout. Ryder he's got enough pop to keep you honest, but Ryder's not a big puncher. He's on the dark side of 35. And he just took a hellacious beating off of Canelo Alvarez. Okay? This is not a hard fight to predict, people. Okay? I believe this fight's in Phoenix or Texas or some old shit. So we already know what's going to happen if the fight goes to the scorecards. All right? And what did I just tell you? John Ryder's not that big of a puncher. And to be fair, Jaime Munguia is a little bit chinny. But Ryder's not a big puncher. He's 35, going on 36 years old. And he's taken a lot of punishment in his career, okay? He just took a vicious beating and got a nice payday from fighting Canelo in Mexico, to his credit. Just took a hell of a beating off of Canelo. And I'm not trying to, I know it might come off this way, but I'm really not trying to piss on John Ryder. I actually like the guy. I think he's a class act. He'll get in there and fight with everybody. But guys, Ryder's lost to nobodies, bro. He lost to Rocky fucking Fielding some years ago. And to be fair, I thought he won that fight. I also thought John Ryder beat Callum Smith for 2 of his 6 losses. But he's gotten TKO'd by no names, and he's 35 going on 36 years old. This isn't a hard fight to predict, people. Not at all. I hope John Ryder makes the best of it, because if he's unsuccessful in this fight with Jaime Munguia, I would imagine this would probably be his last major fight. I'm sure Golden Boy is going to give him a nice payday, or DAZN or whoever is going to give him a nice payday for fighting Canelo and Munguia back to back. But Munguia's not a good fighter. He's solid, but he's nothing spectacular. And Ryder is a solid fighter in his own right, but he's old, and he's been in a lot of tough, gritty fights with the guys I just mentioned. Callum Smith, great fight. Took a lot of wear and tear. There's a lot of tread on the tires of John Ryder. Jaime Munguia is in his prime. He's 27 years old. He's got, there's less damage there, man. So this isn't a fight that really intrigues me. I think John Ryder's tough enough to go the distance with Jaime Munguia. I would be shocked if John Ryder actually pulled this fight off. I would. Because I don't think there's any way in hell they're going to give him a decision. And even though John Ryder's not the biggest puncher in the world, and Jaime Munguia is a little bit chinny, Munguia does have a little bit of balls. So I don't think Ryder can knock him out, and I don't think he can win a decision. Now, is it possible that Ryder goes in there and smokes him just because Jaime Munguia is so laughably overrated? Yeah, it's very possible. But this isn't a hard fight to predict, guys. This is an easy fight to predict. For my official prediction, I got Jaime Munguia winning on points in an 8-4 type of fight. And outlasting an old John Ryder that's got a lot of mileage on the odometer. You know, I mean, they need to take the training wheels off of Munguia, man. I've been saying it for a while now. I actually give him a little bit of credit for fighting Derevyanchenko and having to dig deep late in that fight. You know, I give him props for that. But again, just like John Ryder, it's an old, war-torn version of Derevyanchenko. So, I mean, this kid's been protected for so long now. It's just, they're never going to go throw him in there with a live dog. They'll put him in there with guys that are on the fringe of being live dogs, like a 40-year-old Derevyanchenko that's war-torn with a lot of miles on the odometer, or a 40-year-old John Ryder that's war-torn and with a lot of miles on the odometer. But they're never going to throw Munguia in there with a guy that's, 29 years old, that's peaking, because they already know, like Janibek and Munguia blatantly. Here's another thing. Munguia blatantly ducked Janibek, by the way. And Janibek would fucking rip Munguia's head off. I don't care what nobody has to say about that. But I do think it's going to be, for what it's worth, I do think this is a fan-friendly fight. I do think there will be some good exchanges between John Ryder. But ultimately, I think John Ryder's a little too old. He's got a little too much mileage on the odometer, a little too much tread on the tires, a little too war-torn, where Munguia's just the younger, fresher, bigger guy. And, yeah, that's my 2 cents anyways, people, on this fight. So for my official prediction, I got Jaime Munguia winning a close competitive fight and winning an 8-4 type of decision against a very game John Ryder. That's my 2 cents anyways, people. Take it for what it's worth. I have really no interest in this fight, but what the hell? Anyways, thank you for watching the video. Please be sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you have not. And God bless you all. I will talk to you on the next one. Take care.